Source: Canadian running back Andrew Harris agrees to remain with Argos, Toronto. The CFL's top rushing Canadian is returning for another season. Canadian running back Andrew Harris has agreed to a one-year contract extension with the Toronto Argonauts, according to a CFL source. Toronto, the CFL's top rushing Canadian, is returning for another season. Andrew Harris has agreed to a one-year contract extension with the Toronto Argonauts, according to a league source. The 35-year-old running back was slated to become a free agent Tuesday. The source spoke on the condition of anonymity as the Argos didn't immediately confirm the extension. CFL teams have been able to speak with pending free agents since Sunday. The 5'10", 216-pound Harris ran for 490 yards on 114 carries, 4.3-yard average, while adding 23 catches for 180 yards in 8 regular season games last season, his first with Toronto. Harris suffered a torn pectoral muscle in mid-August and was expected to miss the remainder of schedule, but returned in time for the Argos' 34-27 East Division final win over the Montreal Alouettes. Harris and the Argos capped their season with a 24-23 Grey Cup victory over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Harris's former team. The Winnipeg native ran for 97 yards and a TD on 19 carries in Toronto's 2 playoff games. Following the Grey Cup win, Harris admitted he'd consider retirement in the off-season, but now will return for a 13th CFL campaign. Harris helped the Bombers win Grey Cup titles in 2019 and 2021. He also earned a CFL championship in 2011 with the BC Lions. Harris has registered 5 career 1,000-yard seasons and is the top rushing Canadian in league history with 10,151 yards on 1,903 carries, 5.3-yard average, 451 TDs. He also has 599 all-time catches for 5,403 yards and 32 touchdowns in 184 career regular season games. Toronto has also agreed to terms with defensive end Folarin Arimalad, according to another CFL source, on a 2-year deal. The 27-year-old American had 37 tackles, 6 sacks, a forced fumble and interception return TD in 17 regular season games last year with Calgary, where he won a Grey Cup in 2018. In 34 career regular season games with the Stampeders, Arimalad had 52 tackles, 11 special teams tackles, 10 sacks, 1 interception and 3 forced fumbles. Under terms of the CFL's negotiating window, pending free agents have until noon Eastern Time on Sunday to entertain offers from other clubs. Those proposals, including base salary and incentives, must be registered with the League and CFL Players Association. Any submissions made will be considered binding. When the window closes, teams will have 48 hours to negotiate exclusively with their own potential free agents. The CFL will provide clubs with registered offers that have been made to those players. Teams will then have until 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday to make an offer to their own players, of which a copy must be given to both the League and CFLPA. Following the 48-hour period, the player will have 2 hours, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, on Tuesday to select any offer made to him. If he accepts one, the chosen team must then inform the CFL. Should the player turn down all offers, he'll enter free agency Tuesday at 12:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Any prior offers will no longer be available. Also on Friday, the Saskatchewan Roughriders signed American offensive lineman Eric Lofton. The 6'4", 293-pound Lofton spent last season with Winnipeg, making 1 start. Lofton also spent time with the Ottawa Red Blacks, 2017-18. Veteran Canadian defensive lineman Ted Laurent, meanwhile, signed an extension with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The 6'1", 299-pound Laurent returns for a 12th CFL season and 9th with the Ticats. Laurent had 9 tackles, 1 for a loss, 2 sacks and a forced fumble in 18 games, 17 regular season, 1 playoffs, last season with Hamilton. The 35-year-old has appeared in 155 career regular season games, registering 221 tackles, 23 for loss, 50 sacks, and 8 forced fumbles. Hamilton also released American defensive back Cariel Brooks. The 5'10", 200-pound Brooks spent 5 seasons with the Ticots, registering 205 tackles, 2 special teams tackles, 2 sacks, 12 interceptions, and 4 forced fumbles in 70 career regular season contests. The Lions signed defensive lineman Woody Barron to a 1-year contract extension through 2024. The veteran American would have become a free agent after the 2023 season. The 6'1", 270-pound Barron had 7 tackles and a sack in 6 regular season games following an ankle injury. Long snapper Pierre-Luc Caron of the Alouettes announced his retirement Friday. The 29-year-old from Laval, Quebec, appeared in 97 regular season games over 6 seasons with Montreal and Calgary, winning a Grey Cup with the Stampeders in 2018. He'll now work as an air traffic controller. Receiver Mitchell Picton, a Regina native, signed a 2-year contract extension with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Picton was eligible to become a free agent Tuesday. The 6'2", 200-pound Picton had 18 catches for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns in 11 regular season games in 2022. This report by the Canadian Press was first published February 10, 2023. Dan Ralph, The Canadian Press.